When you first start investing in real estate, you must decide what type of property you want to purchase. Should I invest in commercial real estate, single-family homes, multifamily properties, or Airbnb? Hello and welcome to Financial Fluence. In this video, I'm going to give you the survival guide to the top 4 real estate strategies. Let's now get going. The beautiful thing about real estate is that there are so many different options, but there's something that connects all of them in terms of which is best. ROI, which stands for Return on Investment. Before I show you these 4 investing strategies, let's first discuss why you should invest in real estate in the first place. Number 1, tax efficient. When you start making this stuff, you have to wonder how much of it you get to keep. Do I have to take 20% off the top and give it to the government? Perhaps, but you should be aware that real estate is extremely tax efficient in general. There are ways to grow your portfolio without paying taxes on it. Number 2, cash flow. I put a renter or a tenant on the premises, and guess what? Every month they pay me money so they can either work or live there. And the question is there leftover money? As in, hey, this is the rent for the year of what I collect, but this is the cost to run it. And it looks like the money that I get is more than the money that it costs to maintain this business operation. And the leftover money, if I approximate it, this is called cash flow. Number 3, strong demand. As long as the population grows and business thrives, people will need real estate for their place of business or a place to live. Number 4, inflation. Your money loses a little bit of value every year. It's only meant to lose around 3% of its value. Real estate is a very natural way to protect yourself from inflation. It is one of the few investments that gets better as prices go up. But the big question is, why? Let's look at some of the pros and cons. First and foremost, the principle is simple. I buy a house, put someone in it, and they pay me rent to live there. Some pros are, there's very little turnover, as there are many people who will say, hey, great house, great location. Can we stay another year, 2, or 3? You also have appreciation, which means that because of the continuous growth of the population, the value of these things just continues to increase with time. You can hire a property manager for 10% of the gross rent. It's a manageable, scalable number, and those are some of the pros that get people to move here. However, there are some drawbacks. For example, you don't get to control the rent. You can't say, you know what, $600 a month was cool last year, but I think we should go to like $2,200 because the market determines what it is. Similarly, most of the time you don't have this huge game of economies of scale. You cannot have a loan if you've just received one. Okay, let's talk about multifamily. It is a residential property that has more than one housing unit. This can include apartment complexes, condominiums, and so on. So here are some of the really nice things about this. You can add value through amenities. If you renovate the place and add a little park area, a little dog walk, or a playground, you can really charge more rent because you have more control over it. It's also easier to scale because you can say, well, I just bought 100 units, and the bank over here on residential is going to limit me to 10 single-family homes. But based on this project, I bought 100 doors all at once, and there's a lot of ease in financing. However, there are some drawbacks to be aware of. It can be excessive, as in the entire thing costs $12 million, and those figures can be intimidating if you're new to investing. Not to mention that it's a highly competitive market in which many investors want to take things down, even though they cost a lot of money because there's a big money to be made on them. And you also have to consider management, because there's a certain level of difficulty associated with this. You need someone who lives there to answer phones and solve things, and you need a solid reputation. So there's a lot to think about in the multifamily game. And before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Let's return to the video now. Airbnb's VRBO is a popular trend. Everyone is thrilled about having a piece of land in a great, edgy area of town, maybe right on the lake or maybe right oceanfront, and thinking, hey, I could come here from time to time. And if I simply Airbnb this, I'm probably going to earn a small fortune. And it's true. Especially since the launch of Airbnb in 2008. Short-term rentals are a way to maximize profits on a single property. You could conceivably do a long-term rental, but now everyone is saying this part of town is uniquely desirable in a different way. We should only rent this for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 nights at a time. We're going to charge you a premium because you're not a long-term tenant. Because of this, long-term rentals have the potential to bring in 3 to 4 times as much money, but they are very seasonal. During some times of the year, they are always rented out for a high price. However, there are some drawbacks. It comes with fees, such as when you want to hire someone to manage this for you. Instead of charging you $10 each month, they may charge you $20 or $30. I know locations where it can go as high as 50%, which can destroy a business strategy. It also necessitates time and administration. Every business comes with its own challenges. Finally, let's talk about commercial real estate investing. Commercial is distinct from the others in that it does not include a person looking for a place to sleep, party, or live. Commercial properties are any property where commerce takes place. Often we're talking about a business. Here are some advantages. The market does not control rent. This is fantastic. There are no restrictions that say you can't take a property and improve its worth to the point where someone would pay you a lot more money. If you can find a way to double the rent, you can double the property's value. Another advantage is that you get to bargain with each client. So when you actually put someone on the premises, you might charge one person $19 per foot, while someone else pays $28 per foot. You also have the lowest maintenance cost because, as your clients say, I'm renting for business, so I'm responsible for all my choices. They pick up all of those maintenance dues on their own. And you also have the longest leases, sometimes for 5 to 10 years, sometimes even longer. However, there are some disadvantages. Because each attribute is distinct, a thorough understanding is essential. You should have someone by your side to guide you through some of these transactions so you don't make a mistake. Finally, because we're not talking about a $100,000 business space, there may be a higher initial investment. I'm not saying they don't exist, but commercial architecture spans from the extremely modest all the way up to skyscrapers and other structures worth $100 million. You want to invest in something where you can repeat the process and obtain a predictable result, such as putting $10,000 in an ATM and getting $50,000 out. How many times would you put $10,000 bills into the machine? Almost certainly as many times as you possibly could. Single-family homes are simple to mechanize and automate. There's an important number because it means I generally double my money every 3 years. You can take $50,000 and turn it into $4.3 million if you can turn a single-family real estate into producing 25% or more year over year every single year. You may absolutely find methods to do that with some of these other strategies. I have my preferences based on what takes the least time, effort, and risk. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy similar stuff, check out my other videos. And if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.